Hello friends, this is Road to IIT and today we are going to start a last topic of conics section, that is hyperbola. See, hyperbola and ellipse are very less going to be asked. The more part is from the parabola and the circle. So keep focus on that two part. Okay, and that is the reason I have covered less part of hyperbola and ellipse. Okay. So without wasting our time, let's get started. So first of all, hyperbola, all the formulas, all the things are most of same as there were in the ellipse. The main difference I'm going to tell you is the eccentricity E. In the hyperbola, eccentricity is always greater than 1, whereas in ellipse it's always less than 1. Okay. See, this is the hyperbola with a major axis, that is a transverse axis. Here this x-axis is a transverse axis and the y-axis is the conjugate axis. Okay, transverse axis and conjugate axis. Here the x-axis is transverse axis and y-axis is conjugate axis. This and this are the directrix. This and these two are the asymptotes. Now the formulas, all the formulas we have to remember is, first of all, the focus, that there are two foci same as the ellipse, AE, 0 minus AE, 0. Okay. The vertices A, 0 minus A, 0 same as the ellipse. The difference is in the eccentricity. Okay. Center is 0, 0 same as the ellipse. First of all, the minor axis here is known as the conjugate axis. Now the main type, the equation, the basic equation of this type of ellipse is x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. This is the equation of the standard equation of hyperbola with the transverse axis as the x-axis. If the transverse axis is a y-axis, then x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to minus 1. That becomes the formula. And this hyperbola becomes vertical, in the vertical shape like this. Okay, if the equation is x square minus a square, x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to minus 1. This type of hyperbola, vertical hyperbola, is there for that particular equation. Then the other changes from the is in the parametric equation. Okay, in hyperbola, parametric equation is x is equals to a cos theta, and in the ellipse, parametric equation is x is equals to a cos theta and y is equals to b sin theta. Whereas in this, x is equals to a upon sin t, that means a cosec t, and y is equals to b sin t upon cos t, that means b tan t. So here the parametric equation is x is equals to a cosec t and y is equals to b tan t. This is the parametric equations for hyperbola. And okay, this is also one important point to remember, that is the tangent. Tangent, as we saw in the previous video, same as the ellipse, but the difference of ellipse and hyperbola is this minus sign. In ellipse, this sign is plus. This is same as that equation, x0 x upon a square minus y0 y upon b square is equals to 1, where x0 and y0 are the point where we have to find out the tangent. This we all know that. Okay, so this is the hyperbola, transverse axis as a x-axis. Okay, then another major type of hyperbola is perpendicular, or we can say that rectangular hyperbola, and the common equation is xy is equals to c square. And for this type of hyperbola, the parametric coordinates are x is equal to ct and y is equal to c by t. Just put this x is equal to ct and y is equals to ct in the left hand side of this equation and you will get the right hand side automatically. X is equals to t and y is equals to c by t. And this equation, this hyperbola drawn like this in the first quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. If a negative sign is there, then it can be drawn in the second and the fourth quadrant like this. And like this, if the negative sign is there. Okay, so this is a rectangular hyperbola. Now let's do the summary of this all formula. Say the equation is x square by a square minus y square by is equals to 1. Okay, So all the important results, say the vertex is a comma 0, a dash minus a comma 0, and the a dash is the transverse axis, the length is 2a. Focus is S, okay, we all know that. Then the directrix is there. The equation of directrix, x is equals to plus or minus a by e, same as the ellipse. Then the focus, same as the ellipse, x is equals to plus or minus a comma 0. Then the length of lateral rectum, same 2b square by a. Then the extreme points of lateral rectum, same a comma b square by a comma minus b square by a. Okay, these whole things are same. The one more difference is the formula for finding out the e. In the ellipse we have the formula b square is equals to, in the ellipse we have the formula b square is equals to a square 1 minus e square, because e is less than 1, so there is 1 minus e square. Whereas in hyperbola e is greater than 1, so the formula some little bit change, that is b square is equal to a square e square minus 1. Okay, and you have to remember all the formulas similarly for the vertical hyperbola. Okay, so this is all about the hyperbola. Nothing more is important because this is a very less important topic, as I told you earlier. See, I am only able to find one example in JEE mains, that is asked in JEE 2016. Still a very basic and simple example. So let's solve this. We have to find out the eccentricity of the hyperbola whose length of lateral rectum is equals to 8. Now, as we see in the formula, length of lateral rectum, that is 2b square by a. 2b square by a is equals to 8. And the conjugate axis is equals to the length of conjugate axis. What is it? It's 2b. 2b is equals to half of the distance between foci. Now we have the coordinates of foci. As we see in this, the coordinates of this foci is a comma 0 and this foci is minus a comma 0. So distance between two foci is 2ae, and we have, they say that the length of conjugate axis is equals to half of the distance between its foci. That means 2b is equals to half of 2ae. That means 2b is equals to half of 2a. This we have, and we have to find out the e. We have the length of lateral rectum 2b square by a is equals to 8. That means b square is equals to 4a. Let's mark as equation number 1. Then we have length of conjugate axis is equals to half of length between two foci. That means 2b is equals to half of 2ae. 2 gets cancelled. That means 2b is equals to ae. Let's say it's equation number 2. Now squaring this equation both the sides. So we have 4b square is equals to a square square. That means 4b square by a square is equals to e square. Now, as I told you earlier, the formula for the finding the eccentricity is b square is equals to a square e square minus 1. So we have, if we simplify, b square by a square is equals to e square minus 1, and e square is equal to 1 plus b square by a square. So e square is equals to 1 plus b square by a square. That means b square by a square is equals to e square minus 1. Now put this value here in this equation. So it becomes 4 into e square minus 1 is equals to e square. 4 into e square minus 1 is equals to e square. So 4 e square minus e square, so 4 e square minus 4 is equals to e square. That means 4 e square minus e square is equals to 4. So 3 e square is equals to 4. So e is equals to 2 by root 3. That is greater than 1. That means our answer is right. So e is 2 by root 3. That is my right answer option. That is option number 2. So this is my right answer option. See, this is not a very important. Still, I am going to cover this because it's important to cover all the conics, because 2 to 3 questions are going to be asked from the conics section. Okay. So now, as the JEE is very near, only 1 week is there. So watch all the previous video. Keep learning. If you have any doubt, any query, any recommendation, ask me in comments. I am going to post a video on that. And thank you for watching this video. And if you like this video, don't forget to share it and hit that subscribe button. Thank you.